Alrighty, what's up everybody? It is I, your tribal god of extreme, Peter Joseph here, for a late Thursday night video. Video number 3 on your Triple Threat Thursday, January the 1st, 2026. Or if you're watching tomorrow, or whenever you're watching this, it is now Friday, January the 2nd, 2026, the unofficial weekend, first weekend of the new year. Happy New Year to everybody, if you haven't said that already. Thank you all for watching this video right here on the Peter Joseph YouTube wrestling channel, youtube.com/Peter Joseph. Make sure you like the video, hit that subscribe button down there in my pants, otherwise on the description box below, on this channel and all my other channels as well. Show your love and support. Leave a comment on the video if you like, but don't leave stupid comments. You know where you're going to go, to the Shadow Realm, and Satan and Ozzy will eat your soul, and you'll never be heard from again. But thank you for the preview and sub. Anyway, asshole. And that's pretty much it for that. Share the video all over the internet. And follow me on social media, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. And don't forget to tap and slap that bell, turn on all notifications. You don't miss the next one, because if you miss anything, well, you missed it. You need to get slapped in the face because you're SOL. You know what that means. That all rhymed, I think. But whatever. But hit that bell so you don't miss it, because if you do, well, too bad, you missed it. And that's that. You're SOL. You know what that means. I already said that. But that's that. And if you're brand new here, well, welcome to the party, pal. Grab yourself a nice, tasty, cold one. Enjoy the ride. Put your feet up. And enjoy the show. If you like it, great. You don't, well, get the fuck out of here and go watch somebody else. And that's that. Don't waste my time. Don't waste anybody else's time. You're wasting your time anyway. But you're gonna watch because, like I said, for many, many, many months and years, you got nothing else to watch but me. When you could be watching somebody else, or you could be doing something else. But you guys want to watch me? That's fine, but thank you for the preview and sub anyway, you obsessed fuckers. And that's that. Because I don't watch your shit. I don't need to. I got better things to do with my time in my life. Because I actually have a life. You don't. Be original, not do the same fucking shit every time. But it is what it is. Anyway, but hit the bell, turn on all notifications, don't miss the next one, and that's pretty much it. So, grab yourself a nice tasty cold one, and enjoy the show. If you like it, great. You know. That's that. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, really quickly, thank you all for watching, like, on this late Thursday night, early Friday morning, wherever you may be. And hope you have a great weekend, and a great start to 2026. Check out my last two videos, the Shadows Lair, episode 99, talking about the year in review for 2025 for wrestling, and my life itself, so check that out. Link is down below in the description box, along with my video on my Metal Guy channel talking about why I like heavy metal and OG rap more than the rap that's out today. It was like, call it bumble crap, like Kendrick Lamar and people like that. So check it out. Lots of information and all that good stuff. And that's it. And by the way, metal still trumps rap. Even though people say rap is the #1 genre since 2017, I beg to differ. You know, people still want to listen to Kendrick and Eminem and, any other garbage rap, well, not Eminem per se, any other rapper, out there, that's fine, but, you wanna let out some aggression and pop in a Slayer tape or something like that. Because what are you gonna get out of rap? You're not gonna go out and like say, yeah! It's not gonna save you. I mean, make you feel good. You may not look good, but you might feel good. But when you listen to metal, you look good and you feel good. Even if you go to the Men's Warehouse, too. But I digress. But check that video out. Links are down below in the description box. That's that. Alright, on this late Thursday night, it is time on video number 3 right here on the Peter Joseph channel. I'm your host, Peter Joseph. I am a content creator talking about the wonderful world of professional wrestling, music, sports, or other sports besides wrestling, because wrestling is a sport, and music and movies and whatever the fuck I want to talk about. If you like it, great, get out. That's that. Alright, on this late night, it is time for your AEW Dynamite end of the year review for their final show of the year, which happened on Wednesday night, New Year's Eve, with New Year's Smash, December the 31st, 2025, and we are emanating from the Liberty First Credit Union Arena, say that 5 times fast, and that's a mouthful, that's what she said, in some winky-dink town called Ralston, Nebraska. Yep! On the outskirts of Omaha. So we got that. Alright, this is the aftermath show and the end of the year show for AEW, the aftermath of World's End, and the final show of the year, New Year's Smash, night 1, and then we got night 2 on Saturday night, on a live Collision. So, that's going to be nice. We have that on your great station of TNT, but probably nobody going to watch it because they're going to watch the Niners destroy the Seacocks. And then later, you're going to take a little nap after the game, and then get up around 2 o'clock in the morning and get ready for Wrestle Kingdom 20 at 3 a.m. here in the East Coast. Or 4 a.m. in Puerto Rico, and in England, it's 8 o'clock in the morning. So, you're waking up on Sunday morning watching Wrestle Kingdom if you're in jolly old England, love. And if you're on the West Coast, you get to watch it at midnight. You bastards. And if you're in Japan, it's pretty much later Sunday night, January the 4th. But we're getting it early, late January 3rd into January 4th. That's how it is. It's going to be an epic event. So we'll talk about that over this weekend, and then the review on Sunday afternoon before I do my festivities and stuff. My Sunday afternoon shit. Besides watching football, which the Niners won't be on Sundays, huh? But there's other good games that on Sunday in the final week of the year for the NFL and the league when they play for pay. Alright, we got that. Alright, so let's get into it. Our commentary team, a little bit different for the final episode of Dynamite. We got the man behind the mask, as always, Excalibur, and the man who should have his own wing in the Hall of Fame, my good buddy, and yours, not everybody's favorite, but my favorite guy in the whole wide world, a great man, Tony Baloney Schiavone, or Tony Schiavone for people that love Jericho. And we got that. Alright, coming off a pretty good World's End pay-per-view, the final pay-per-view for the year. Now we're rolling on to Maximum Carnage, 2 weeks away. And eventually we're going to be on the road to Revolution, our first pay-per-view of the year, coming up in March 15th to be exact. So, we got a lot of things happening before we even get to Revolution. But AEW ended the year pretty strong. The show was pretty good. We're going to hear from our resident scumbag, the AEW World Heavyweight Champion, Maxwell Jacob Fartknocker on the show. We got Jon Moxley taking on Josh Alexander of the Don Callis family. We got Ricochet, still our AEW National Champion. He's going to be taking on Jungle Jack Perry. And we also got a mixed tornado tag team match with members of the Conglomeration and Timeless Tony Storm taking on the Death Riders. So we got that and a whole lot more. And also Mercedes Moné defending her TBS title against the person that she took it from, and that's one half of the Women's Tag Team Champions, the resident fun girl Willow Nightingale in the main event. Alright, so let's begin, shall we? I think we should. Alright, so we get a long recap of World's End with some of the big matches. We have a new Continental Champion, Jon Moxley, new Heavyweight Champion, and Maxwell Jacob Fartknocker, and other things that happen on the show. So we see a recap of that. And then a white car enters the parking lot, the ever so popular parking lot. And we don't know who's coming out of the car. But the door opens and out comes our resident scumbag, the new AEW World Heavyweight Champion Maxwell Jacob Fartknocker, for his championship celebration. He goes to the ring, the fans, singing his theme song. Beat you. Blah, blah, blah. So, gets on the mic, says, on Saturday, I beat the franchise. No, not Shane Douglas. He beat Swerve Strickland. That's right, you didn't beat me because I'm the franchise. Okay, Shane, calm down. If you don't like that, he can suck my ass. Okay. That's enough. It's late. That's enough. Okay, Francine, thank you. Can you, please? Hi, Francine. How you doing? Anyway, she's a nice lady. Anyway, so, talks about beating Swerve, the franchise, the Samoan Submission Machine, Samoa Joe, and the main character, Adam Page, who doesn't like to be called that, but we're going to call him it anyway. All at once, and that makes him the top man. Then he throws down the AEW World title, something like Shane Douglas would do. They can all kiss my ass! Then he brought out the actual ECW title. Before it was still Eastern Championship Wrestling, but they changed it to Extreme on that night. I still have the DVD. Good stuff. Anyway, so he throws down the AEW World title and reintroduces the Triple B belt, which looks amazing. New look with his nameplates on it too. His side plates actually on the new belt, which is basically like not a burgundy belt per se. It looks more gold, like all around gold. Pretty damn good. If you've seen the pictures, it looks great. But anyway, so he shows it off. Looks great. So Max goes, I love the idea that anyone thinks they can catch me because I'm a stallion and I'm tired of walking around, so everybody has to try to keep up. And it's time to sprint. And then Kenny by Omega! Bang! He shows up on the screen, probably from his house in Florida, I think. So Kenny knows his time is coming to an end, but what if a great comic and a great series on Netflix, it was Netflix or, no, not Netflix, on Disney, I don't think it's out anymore. But anyway, what if I become the World Heavyweight Champion for a second time? I'm not the cleaner anymore. You're not going to get the cleaner. You're not going to get the big belt machine. You're not going to get the belt collector. I'm not collecting belts anymore. Because I'm only here for one belt that's eluded me for the past year or two. And that's the AEW World title. There are a lot of people coming for that belt. And my name is on the list as well. So he says, I must bid you adieu, goodbye, mwah, and good night, bang! So that's that. Alright, then Max retorts saying, Kenny wouldn't say that to my, oh, you wouldn't say that to my face. And then we see Hangman Adam Page, the cowboy, about to do some cowboy shit. He appears in the crowd along with Swerve. And my good buddy Prince Nana, please buy his coffee. It's amazing. Rosa loves it. He's gonna have a fresh pot of that coffee tomorrow. That's pretty much it. Hopefully she can have it because she had a rough couple of days, but she's doing fine, thankfully. Me, not so much. I am doing okay, but having to care for the missus because she got a little bit sick over on after during and after, not during, well, after, pretty much a little bit after New Year's Eve and into today. I had to take care of her and everything. But she's doing better, thankfully, after a lot of rest today. But she felt a little queasy, but not because she... a little bit, but whatever. But in any case, alright, so Swerve and Hangman appear in the crowd, and, well, different parts of the crowd, and then they're heading towards the ring, but then the Walmart security guards cut them off, which kind of doesn't work, because they get destroyed by pretty much both of them. But anyway, they get in the ring, and... and MJF's like, hey, you know, like, the only way you're gonna earn a title shot is racking up some wins, and then talk to Tony Khan, and maybe, just maybe, I'll give you a title shot. So after that, MJF bails, and then security, like I said, got beat up. I mean, really beat up, destroyed. I'm like, where do these people come from? The local indie promotion or something like that? Or the local Walmart? Anyway, so he leaves, then the Swerve and Hangman beat the security guards up, and then both of them say, we're coming for the belt, Max, so get ready, and then the Ops appear on the screen, Samoa Joe, they send for the man, you, Hulk, get in here too, with your Doritos, well, I don't want Doritos, not today, but anyway, so Hook, ladies and gentlemen, he's here, along with Powerhouse Will Hobbs, the Trios Tag Team Champions. They come in, and Samoa Joe says, I should be the number one contender, because, you know, he has a gripe, because he lost the belt, he should be getting his rematch. So, I should be the number one contender, but I'm sick of hearing about you two, and I want to wrap this up next week. So, yeah, basically, you know, I should be the number one contender, and I'm sick of hearing about these two, about you guys. And then Swerve just goes on a tirade, and says that, you know, you're dealing with the two most sadistic men in all of AEW. So he challenges Hook and Powerhouse Hobbs. I thought it was going to be Joe in the match too, but it's going to be 2-on-2 in a no disqualification, anything goes brawl, a lights out match. So there you go. No disqualification. Anything goes. Lights out match. So we got that. So, crazy little start to the show. You know, Hangman and Swerve and Kenny, among others, are coming from Max's belt. And we'll see what happens with that. And Max is going to be defending it in some indie promotions, which is kind of interesting. I think he's defending the belt in a couple weeks against Alec Price, and I think Beyond Wrestling. Probably going to win that. I don't know who Alex Price is, but we got that. Alright, so first segment I gave 3.25 out of 5 stars, and we're off and running on a pretty chaotic start to Dynamite on New Year's Eve. Alright, after that we get the remarkable Renee Paquette. She's in the back with the conglomeration, well, not all of it, but we have the TNT champion, the funky chicken himself, Mark Briscoe, and as always, Happy New Year to you, sir, Jay Briscoe. Reach for the sky, boy. Bye-bye. We got that. We have freshly squeezed orange juice. That's Orange Cassidy. We also have well, he's still there. From the Paragon, we have Roderick Strong. And eventually we see Timeless Tony Storm, darling! Happy New Year, darling! Nick my bosom! Anyway, so, they're all ready for their mixed tornado tag team match coming up with Marina Shafir and two members of the Death Riders. That's Claudio and Danny Garcia. So, Tony Storm arrives by herself, says, "Hello, Citrus Boy!" And then they kind of get, you know, And then Orange Cassidy's like, hey. And we get that. And then my fourth amazingly hot Asian wife shows up. Mina! Looking, oh, so good. And Luther, who returned as well. Mina comes up, is not happy with Orange Cassidy, you know, kind of groping Toni Storm. That's her bitch, basically. But Toni insists it's not like that. Right. Yeah, tell Juice Robinson that. But I digress. But, hey, you know, you want to swing on Orange Cassidy's nuts, go ahead. I'll take Mina. I always have and always will. I can't do this stupid heart thing. Whatever. I can do this. But anyway. So Tony's like, it's not like that. And then Tony tells Luther to give her, she's like, Luther! And then Luther throws an orange, it looked like a tangerine to me, or almost like a mango, I don't know what it was, but like a big orange. She takes a humongous bite out of it. And then Mina pulls her away, and they go somewhere. And then Mark Bridges was like, hey, can I have a bite too? Well, with your teeth, I don't know if you can bite into that. But anyway, they leave, and then Renee's just there with Roddy, and Roddy's like, Renee! And then he's like, I don't want to be part of this! And he leaves. And then he's like, stop yelling! Roddy, you gotta calm down. Lay off the caffeine, lay off the coffee. You know, switch to decaf. But, I don't know. If I ever meet Roddy again, he might say, Peter! And I'm like, what? No, not you. I didn't say you, Mike. But you said what? Like I say it. Sorry. But anyway, since you're here, I was watching some of your matches with that guy. You know that guy. Don't say his name! Please don't say his name. I hate him. Yeah, but anyway, we won't say his name. What'd you say? What did you say? Gilmore, don't let me hear you say something out of your mouth. Okay, Mike, I'm sorry. I said Banaka. That rhymes with his name! Fuck! I'm sorry, Mike. I'm sorry. I'll make it up to you later. Not that later, but tomorrow. I'll make it up to you this weekend. I'll buy you something nice. Okay, I'm sorry. Anyway, yeah, I watched you kick the crap out of that guy. I kicked his ass so many times I couldn't even count. I put him through so many tables. I'm excited to show how awesome I am. You did, Mike. Even in Japan, where you put him through electric barbed wire face first. I didn't like his face then, I don't like his face now. But he's still wrestling at his age, you know that? Well, he's a fucking idiot. Well, you're probably gonna fight him in heaven when he gets up there. Well, if he comes up here, I'll meet him at the pearly gates, and I'll give him a powerbomb, and he'll go straight back down to hell where he belongs. Okay, Mike, calm down now. Jeez. I'm sorry, I get so worked up when I hear that guy's name. I'm sorry to mess up your video and everything. Okay, Mike, calm down, please, calm down. Here. Have some Pepsi. This is cherry Coke. See? Actual cherry Coke. It's on me. We'll have it. Oh, thank you. I'm gonna get out of here now. I'm gonna try to calm down. Okay. Mike, calm down. We'll talk tomorrow, okay? Okay, before you leave, say goodbye. Bye! Get out. Satire. You love it. You love my impressions. You know you do. Don't deny it. Anyway, moving on. Alright, so Roddy comes in and yells. What else is new? That's that. Alright, so I gave that segment 2.5 out of 5 stars. Then we get to the mixed trios tag team match. Tornado rules, meaning everybody in the ring. So we got Orange Cassidy, Timeless Toni Storm, and Roddy taking on Danny Garcia, the Dancing Fool, Marina Shafir, and the Swiss, Claudio Castagnoli. Alright, this match was wild. Like the mixed nuts match. It was like part 2, just with less people in it. Alright, so the men start on the floor, which leaves Toni Storm and Marina Shafir to fight on the inside of the ring. Claudio then knocks Toni outside, you son of a bitch. Excuse me. Gets dropkicked by Roddy, who then gets hammered in the corner by Danny Garcia. Orange Cassidy comes in for the save, puts his hands in his pants, and I bet he felt nuts. Yes, he's Cisco, yes, he's Ebert, and he's getting 2 thumbs up. You and me, baby, ain't nothing but mammals. Okay. Let's do it like we do on the Discovery Channel. Get the hornet out! That's a great song. Timeless classic. And yes, they should be in the Hall of Fame too. I'm just saying. Anyway, so Orange Cassidy puts his hands down his pants to escape Marina Shafir's full Nelson circa 1984. What are you, Billy Jack Haynes all of a sudden now? Or not even Chris Masters. Or even Hercules Hernandez, God rest his mighty soul. But anyway, so he gets out of that, and then the Death Riders beat the fucking hell out of Orange Cassidy. Go to break, come right back. Roddy chops his way out of trouble, giving Claudio an angle slam. And then Orange Cassidy and Toni Storm once again do their little dancey offense. A double hip toss to Claudio. And then Toni teases swinging Claudio, and the fans like, yeah, do it! And freaking Tony Schiavone's like, oh my god, is this gonna happen? Toni, you know better than that. Come on now. I mean, it would have been epic if she actually did it. But, you know, Claudio's like 200 and something pounds, and Toni Storm's like 125 soaking wet. I don't know. But that gets broken up due to avoiding the battle against the laws of physics. Yeah. Women cannot swing men. Pretty much. Unless you're like Megan Bain strong. But whatever. But, yeah. Most of you don't even know the laws of physics and probably never took physics in your life. I took physics in high school and college. Passed it with flying colors. Loved it. I still don't understand some of it, but, you know. I'm gonna drink this thing! Oh, but I'm not gonna do it. I would pour it like this down my throat, but don't want to make a mess. This Rose will get really mad. What are you doing? Clean them up! And then I gotta clean it up. It's bad enough I gotta clean the sheets every so often, because, you know, when me and Rosa get the business going, gotta clean those sheets. But I digress. Anyway, so Roddy has to save Orange Cassidy from Mother's Milk. And then, him and his wife, Marina Shafir, get into it. And, remember at World's End, Marina kicked Roddy in the face, and then Roddy just chopped his wife in the back. He got a big old welt from that. But this time, Marina goes for the kick. Roddy saw it coming, and he hits a capture backbreaker. Ow! Oh, that's one way to break your back. So Marina ain't getting, you know, her back readjusted. I don't know, in bed, but whatever. Oh, Roddy's gonna be on the couch later too. That's the second time. Third time, you're out the door, pretty much. Anyway. So it's Slumdog Millionaire to Claudio, and then Toni gives him the sexy hip attack, but then, this guy. William Yuta comes out for the distraction, which allows Claudio to hit a Tiger uppercut on Orange Cassidy. 1, 2, 3. Damn it. The Death Riders get the win in a little over 9.5 minutes because of fucking William Yuta! William Yuta's the type of guy that comes out at the wrong time. And he gets backstabbed by his parents. That's how fucking dumb he is. Alright, we get that. The Death Riders get the win, a little revenge from World's End, blah, 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 blah. Alright, match I gave 2.5 out of 5 stars. After the match, Mina comes in, yells at Orange Cassidy. I wonder why. Because you're a fucking loser! And then she's like yelling at me, like, you stupid fucking bitch! You know, stuff like that. And Tori's like, calm down! Tranquilo, easy, mommy, easy. I mean, you don't want to get on Mina's bad side. She will whip your eyes out. I mean, oh shit. You don't fuck me in the ass too much! What the fuck are you doing? I don't swing that way! I don't do that! I'm an original! Be nice to me. Okay, it's like you take no time! Okay, thank you, Mina. You get somebody pissed, you get a girl pissed, you gotta say, you gotta lay down the law. It's like, hey, leave me alone, you know. You suck my dick, you shut the fuck up. Pretty much. Anyway, we move on with that. Alright, after that, we get a video from Mercedes Moné, the CEO. CEO. 9 Bells Moné. Oh, I mean, 10 Bells Moné at the time. Comes in to yell at, and, well, actually, we see a promo from her in a very long TBS title reign. Almost a year or so. So, we'll see what happens with that. Very nice video. 2.5 out of 5 stars. Alright, go to break. We come back with a non-title match with our Ring of Honor World Heavyweight Champion, Bandido Ese Pero. He takes on Mercedes Moné's new boy toy, that's the Beast Mortos. I wonder how long that's gonna last. Probably not long. Anyway, non-title match. The Ring of Honor title is not on the line. Decent match, nothing great. Just about 10 minutes. Starts with Bandido, flippy, dippy-doo all around. The start. Then he grabs his vest, and we get a bullfighting little thing. Toro! Toro! Ole! Ole! And then the Beast Mortis gets all pissy. It's like, okay, Chico Santana, stop that. You're not El Matador. So he grabs the black vest and stomps the shit out of it. And it stomped Bandido just for good measure. Shit. Knocks him to the outside for a running flippy tornillo. You know, he dodges and flips at the same time. That was impressive. So hits that. Bandido comes back with a leg sweep. Sweep the leg, Daniel son. Into the gun pose on the inside. That was pretty nice. But then the Mortis gets sent to the outside. Bandido puts on his cape and he flies like he's Superman! Okay, I say. Oh, he flies like a Mexican and Jumblebee! He flies almost like me! Osito. Ah! He flew farther than that? Anyway. Peter's playing with his dolls again! Knock next time! Knock! Did you see anything? No, sir. I didn't see you play with your dolls again. Good! Anytime I can quote Spaceballs is a good night. Moving on. Alright, go to break, come back. Bandido snaps off a very spinny head scissors into an Eddie Guerrero frog splash for a near fall. Do you like my one, Eddie? He was okay. I think Bandido's a great wrestler, but he's not like me. If I was alive today, I'd love to kick his ass. I would love to see that. Eddie Guerrero versus Bandido? Sign me up for that. But anyway, so gets the near fall out of that. Mortis comes right back with a big backbreaker into a discus lariato for a near fall. Followed by another one for a, well, no count for Zero. Alright, then goes up top looking for a moonsault, but no water in the pool for you, Esse. And then Bandido gets up with a very impressive X knee, followed by the 21 plex. 1, 2, 3, Bandido gets the win in just about 10 minutes. Match is alright, 2.5 out of 5 stars. So the Ring of Honor champion and the Diamond Ring holder, he gets his title match at Maximum Carnage. in a week from Wednesday. Alright, so we got that. Alright, we move on. Alright, so we go to break, we come back. Renee's with Bandito and his tag team partner, Brody King, big man, otherwise known as Brogito SA. They're in the back. Bandito says, I'm ready, SA, to be the World Champion. I mean, the AEW World Champion, SA, pero, because I'm the Ring of Honor Champion, too. Brody loves that idea, says, well, when you win that title, I'm the first in line to fight you. Works for Bandito. Why not? So does that mean a lot of people saying, is Brody going to screw his former tag team partner and tag team champion? And then we got Brody King versus Bandito for the Ring of Honor title? I hope not. I don't know, but we'll see. We get that. Alright, so Brody leaves, and I gave that segment 2.5 out of 5 stars. He goes to the ring and pretty much beats the shit out of Lee Johnson of the Swirl in 52 seconds. Thanks for coming, Lee Johnson. Beats him with a cannonball and pound driver finisher. That was it. And then Lee Johnson had a match on Ring of Honor TV tonight, or earlier tonight. You're watching this on Friday. But he was teaming up with Blake Christian to take on Jay Lethal and Bandito. Interesting, the current Ring of Honor champion and one of the longest reigning champions in Ring of Honor history at 423 days, I believe. That's Jay Lethal, Black Machismo. Ooh, yeah, get. Look at that. So he had that tonight, but he gets beat in 52 seconds? Jeez. He's not going to go into that match 100%. I don't know. It just feels like Ring of Honor is just there. It is just there. Yeah, people that are holding the belts for 3 plus years, Latino. Lee Moriarty supposedly not the pure champion. I wish I had my phone. I don't. See if I can get this. But supposedly he lost to Michael Oku. I have to look this up. But I think he's still a champion. He's held it for like over a year. He's still the champ. Shane Taylor Promotions is the 6-man tag team champions. They're starting their reign. The Spanish God, Sammy Guevara, in his second official reign as Ring of Honor champion. Actually, really his third, if you think about it. Because he had the belt with Dustin, then he had it with Rouge, but then they had to drop the belts, and now he's a 3-time champ with Beast Mortis, so they just starting their reign. Red Velvet won back the Ring of Honor Women's TV Championship from Mercedes at Final Battle, so she's starting her second reign. Deonna Purrazzo is the new Women's Pure Champion. She's starting her reign. And Nick fucking Wayne is still the TV champ, though we haven't seen him lately. I don't know what's going on with Nick Wayne and the TV title. I mean, it's like Tony Khan doesn't really give 2 fucks about Ring of Honor. And he owns the promotion! Or co-owns it, supposedly. Now he fully owns it. I mean, why did you buy it if you're not going to do anything with it, and the only good thing you do with it is the pay-per-views? The TV show is just abysmal. And it's been about 4, almost 5 years since he bought Ring of Honor, and he still don't have a TV deal. That's sad. That is fucking sad. And we were talking about, Shockwave. It was going to be on Fox. Nope. Unless Fox is still in the running for a wrestling show again. So I don't think we're going to hear Shockwave. We were talking about Shockwave, and then we were talking about Burn, and like all these ridiculous names for another show. I don't even think we're gonna get any of that. And Ring of Honor's been around for this will be the 24th year. I mean, TNA's doing way better than Ring of Honor right now. And they're in their 24th year now. Crazy. It feels like just Ring of Honor should just die. And I hate saying that because I'm a long-time Ring of Honor fan from the old days. But right now, the last couple of years have been like, Ring of Honor is just a glorified indie show to me. I mean, you still have some of the big stars, like Jay Lethal's there every once in a while. But, you got Athena being like the female Roman Reigns. Bandito, once again, is champ, because he was champ, on and off with his feud with Roosh. I think with Jonathan Gresham at one point, too. But, I mean, first couple of years of Tony Khan's Ring of Honor, I thought was pretty decent. Pay-per-views were still great. And some of the matches on TV were great. But now it's like on and off. It's just, sometimes an actual TV show, a TV taping will just be hard to watch. I'm like, what is this? We're getting back to back, like 5 straight squash matches against people we don't even know. And then the people that we don't know get proving ground matches. I'm like, how do they earn that? I just can't with Ring of Honor sometimes. I can't. But I digress. Alright, let me see if I can look this up real quick with the ancient computer. And if anybody wants to donate me an actual working or refurbished Windows 11 computer or a laptop, hit me up. That's that. But I'll probably just get one myself, probably in the next couple months. But okay. Let's see. I think it's Lee Moriarty still has the belt. I could be wrong. Yeah, he still has the belt. Yeah, he's held the belt for over a year and a half now. July 26th will be his 2-year anniversary of the belt if he holds it. And he beat William Yuta to do that on the July 26th episode of, July 26th, I think was, he won it at Death Before Dishonor, 2024. Defended it multiple times against Nigel at Final Battle. And he just recently, he's going to be defending it, pretty much, in 2026 against Commander. I think that was, tonight, actually. Pretty much. It was actually tonight. Lee Moriarty versus Commander for the, pure title. And, Lee Moriarty, still is the champ. So, we have that. But, give Lee Moriarty some goddamn flowers. I mean, he's held that for almost 2 years now. Was getting close to 2 years. And, we have that. Okay. I could have sworn that I thought he lost it for a second. But, alright, we have that. But, yeah, seeing Lee Johnson get squashed and then he has a match, the next night on, Ring of Honor TV with, teaming up with Blake Christian against Jay Lethal and Bandito. Kind of looks very dumb. But that's how Tony Khan books. He's fantastic. Alright, so I gave that match a dud because it was a squash match. That's it. Alright, after that we got, hi guys, it's me, Darby, I'm back. I just want you to know that I got my ass beat by Gabe Kidd, and I was busted wide open, bloody as fuck. But I did it for you guys, because I love you guys. And hey, I won in an actual match, even though it was semi-hardcore. I come from Seattle. I live in my car. Oh, so fucking emo. Out of here. Alright, so Darby talks about how pain gives him peace. Well, okay. You want some peace? then go put your body on the line every fucking time, you maniac. Anyway, so he wants the world title, but first he needs to beat Pac, that bastard Pac, to end this long-running feud with the Death Riders. He's beaten Danny Garcia, he beat Claudio, he beat Moxley, as we saw earlier this last year, in that crazy as fuck I Quit match. And now he's just got to be Pac, who beat him in the beat him in the Continental Classic. No, I think it was before the Continental Classic, and then injured him pretty much. There you go. Well, actually, that too. I was gonna say, Gabe Kidd threw him down the stairs to the Hammerstein Ballroom, but whatever. All right, me move on with that. All right, well, guys. I'll be back 1 second, because I have to use the bathroom. So I'm gonna go to the bathroom, and I'll be right back. Don't miss me too much. Alright, I'm back. Did you miss me? I think you did. You know, The Rock just went to the bathroom and woo! Anyway. Yeah, so I had to do a number 2. I had to go potty. So we had that. Alright, we're back. Alright, so Darby wants the world title, but he's got to get through Pac to do that. Or so we think. Well, we'll get to that in a minute. Alright, so I gave that 2.5 out of 5 stars. Alright, after that, we get to a non-title eliminator match. If Josh Alexander beats Mox, he gets a future Continental Breakfast of Champions title shot. So he takes on the man who has the belt, and that's Jon Moxley. Alright, so this was a pretty, good match between these two guys. Lasted 15 and a half minutes. So it's also like Josh Alexander. He has 2 singles wins in 8.5 months in AEW. That's sad. Well, he actually gets a chance to earn a title shot for once. But I think he needs to break away from the Don Callis family and go on his own. Maybe go after the TNT title instead of going after a trinket title like the Continental Breakfast of Champions title. But okay. Alright, so he starts hammering away on the back of Moxley to start. Moxley gets back up with some big time forearms, pounds him down in the corner, then hits that big a big, huge forearm. They get back up. Josh knocks him to the outside for a big old flippy doo. And then Mox comes up holding his knee, which kind of came into play at the Continental Classic because of what happened with him in that epic match with Fletcher. Surprised that Moxley was able to walk after that match. It was so brutal, and then even on one leg, fucking Moxley beats Okada. Crazy. Alright, so then some shots in the tree of whoa! Have Mox in big trouble as we go to break. We come right back. Josh still in control, works on the knee. They trade signature holds. Moxley then makes the rope rather than tap into the ankle lock. They go to the apron and both men try for a power driver or suplex on the apron, but they slug it out, and so Josh hits a world's strongest slam. Ow! I think I was on the apron. That had to hurt. Back in the ring, Josh misses a moonsault. No water in the pool for you, sir. Because he's from Canada. So they trade even more vicious forearms. And then Mox steals my move every chance he gets. He hits a running giddy kata! Bang! For a near fall. Big clothesline turns Josh inside out like he's in a laundry, in the dryer. Mox knocks him to the outside for a little flippy dippity doo, even though Mox banged up his knee again. Dumb. Should have done that, Mox, but it is what it is. Josh wraps the knee around the ring post circa a guy named Bret Hart. Speaking of that, grabs the Heartbreaker. And Mox almost tapped again. They get back inside the ring. And Mox barely gets in. They get back inside. Mox grabs the Bulldog choke. Then the hammer and anvil elbows to face, knocking Josh's headgear off. Then he locks it again. And pretty much Josh go night-night. So Moxley gets the win. And 15 and a half minutes. Match was pretty good. 3.25 out of 5 stars. And that's that. So, and then after the match, Moxley is celebrating. And then we see MVP and Shelton Benjamin of the Hurt Business. We hurt people. Even though Bobby Lashley's not coming back because he hurt his shoulder. I think he hurt his shoulder. He hurt something. Pays to be in the Hurt Business when you hurt something, right? You hurt yourself. So, Shelton Benjamin gets a title shot next week. Something you wouldn't see in WWE at the time when Shelton was there for a little bit. I don't even think that him and Mox fought back in WWE. I have to check that. Maybe they did, maybe they didn't. But it should be a great match next week on the program. So we get that. So Mox's challengers are just coming out the woodwork right now. Good match with Josh Alexander. I think he's going to have an epic match with Shelton Benjamin next week. Is Shelton going to win? Probably not. We'll see. Alright, after that, we go to the back with the Triangle of Madness. My girl Julia Hart, Sky Blue, and the Spider Lady, Thekla. They liked seeing Chris Caitlin drop Jamie Hayter on her head at World's End. And basically said, let them take, I think Thekla wants to take Jamie Hayter's place and make it really toxic. Well, they all say that. Okay. They were kind of teasing Thekla going after Jamie Hayter and Chris Caitlin. But, did that whole thing where Caitlin accidentally hit, Jamie Hayter accidentally hit Caitlin, so that set up the World's End match. So now seems like all three of the Triangle Madness want a AEW Women's title shot. We'll see. Alright, so I get a 2.25 out of 5 stars. Alright, go to commercial. We come back with our next match for the national title. We had Ricochet, along with the Gates of Agony, Toa Leone, and Bishop. Run! I know that Quan. They come out, the demand. They do this, and it's like this. It almost looks like a Nazi salute, almost. A lot. No. Whatever. Anyway, so Ricochet defense against Jungle Jack Perry. With Luchasaurus, whose shoulder is still banged up, and he's going to be out for a while. I'll tell you why. So we got that. Alright, this was a pretty decent match. It's also with Jack Perry backing Ricochet up against the ropes to start. Ricochet grabs a basic wrist lock. Then they start glaring. Some glaring between Luchasaurus and the Gates of Agony. Jack Perry and Ricochet trade some flippy dippity doos until Ricochet... inside the ring, and then Ricochet gets sent outside. Jack Perry with a flippy dippity doo, sending Ricochet into the barricade. Ow. And then Luchasaurus gets beat down by the Gates of Agony, which allows Ricochet to hit a flippy dippity doo of his own. We go to break, come back. Ricochet rolls some suplexes into a running shooting star press for a near fall. And a big old Lariato gives Jack Perry a near fall on the comeback. Goes for the running Busaiko knee. And sends Ricochet out to the apron because he got scared. Jack Perry follows him to the floor for a sit-out bulldog. Ouch. Only to get crotched on the top. Balls! Oh, he doesn't have Andy Jade anymore. Sucks for you, huh? But he's fine enough to give Ricochet a top rope tornado DDT. Ow. Then the Gates of Agony with another distraction. And then Ricochet loads up the spinning gun! Bang, he hits that. 1, 2, 3 to retain the national title in a little over 10 minutes. Match was alright, 3 out of 5 stars. And then afterwards, the Demand beat the shit out of Luchasaurus. I think it was Bishop Quan. Grabs a barricade and just smashes it on the bad shoulder of Luchasaurus. I think it's the right shoulder. You're right, this one. You're seeing it left shoulder. But smashes up his shoulder. Then like 3 security guards come out. I mean, Tony Khan can't get more. Seriously. So 3 securities come out. They get destroyed. One of them gets body slammed on the barricade, and underneath the shoulder, and on the shoulder of Luchasaurus. So he got written off. So I think he's gonna have surgery on his shoulder. Didn't he just come back from double pneumonia and now he's out again? Ugh. I mean, not a great year plus for Luchasaurus. I mean, he almost died because he had double pneumonia. That's not fun. But we get that. So looks like Jack Perry's gonna be on his own now. Kind of, in a good way, he's gonna be in singles action, but probably won't see Luchasaurus for at least a few months. But we'll see. I'll see how long Luchasaurus is out for. Hopefully he has a speedy recovery. That's that. Alright, then we go to the Death Riders and Jon Moxley. Mox cuts a promo with them. He's fine with fighting Shelton Benjamin for the Continental Breakfast of Champions title next week. And as for Darby, William Yuta says, "Hey, Darby, if you want to face Pac, you have to fight me first." Why is Tony Khan, why are you torturing us? Why? Nobody wants to see Darby and William Yuta. Come on, Tony. Why can't we have nice things? It's 2026, Tony. Come on, give us what we want. That's no Darby and no William Yuta matches. Alright, so we got that. I think that match is next week. I don't know and I don't care. Because when that match goes on the air, I'm going to turn off the match. That's it. I'm gonna fight anyway, Mr. Joseph. And you're going to watch it anyway. Shut up, Darby. Get the fuck out of here. Go to your car. Go to your house, which is your car, in Seattle. You weigh 150 pounds soaking wet, you fucking emo bastard. Alright, so we got that. I gave that 2.25 out of 5 stars. Alright. Then we see Willow Nightingale all ready to get her TBS title back. But before we get to that, Renee's with MJF, all ready to make his last title run look like nothing. And then Bandito and Brody King come in. Brody says, you need to worry about my boy here in 2 weeks, rather than Kenny Omega and everybody else, including myself. That's a point. So we got that. So a little stare down between Brody King and Bandito and MJF. See how that goes next week on Collision and next week on the program. Alright, we got that. And next week, JR returns. Good old JR back! God almighty! Barbecue sauce Tony shop party on a Saturday night! Oh, Wednesday night. Wednesday night, JR. Wednesday. Don't matter! Back down Stone Cold! Okay. But great to see JR in his hometown of Tulsa, Oklahoma. Yep! The legendary Jim Ross, Hall of Famer, with Jerry the King Lawler as well. Good guys. Jerry's, I think he had another stroke. Ugh. I hope he's recovering and, get a few more years out of the King. And Jim Ross ain't no spring chicken either. I think he's getting close to 70, maybe more than that. We'll occasionally do, a pay-per-view or an occasional Dynamite. But great to see him next week on the program. I don't know where they're going to put him. Probably near the end of the show, because he can't do a 2-hour show. So, he could. But, we'll see. If he does the whole show or he does part of the show, probably near the end of the show, we'll see. We have that. Alright, then we go to your main event of the evening for the TBS title. Mercedes Moné taking on Willow Nightingale. This was a pretty good match to end the show. So, it's also with Willow getting knocked to the outside by a surging Mercedes Moné. Sends her into the barricade, ow. And then she goes to hit her on the barricade with the running knees of doom, but she kinda, sorta hit the barricade. She ran at it. She sees Willow move, and she couldn't stop herself from hitting the barricade. She's like, boink. There goes your knees for a week. Willow then smashes the crap out of her with a big-time clothesline on the inside of the ring. Then a middle rope dropkick knocks the champ down. Then an apron cannonball drops the champ again. So Willow's in control. But Mercedes comes back, sends Willow into the ring steps. Ow. Then a running knees of doom connect this time. We go to break, come back. Willow comes back, hits a Death Valley driver for a double down. And then she hits the bounce into another Death Valley driver for a near fall. Then she hits the bait with a power bomb. Looked like she was about to win back the belt, but Mercedes got her foot on the ropes. It kind of looked like a sloppy pin, but whatever. Anyway, Willow misses a moonsault, something you don't see from the big woman. But no water in the pool for you, Missy. And then Mercedes tries and, her mentor, Eddie Galero, S.A. Frog Splash, but Willow got her knees up. Sorry, Eddie. It's okay, she tried. Okay. Alright, then we get an AA. Somebody been watching Cena. That's right, kids. Right, knuckle shovel, you can't see me, kids. I love the kids. Okay, John. Anyway. A AA on the apron. Ow. Drops Mercedes. That was wicked. She goes for another cannonball, and no water in the pool for you again. As, all you heard was a big old splat. And then Mercedes, tries to go for the three amigos on the outside of the ring. I think she got two of them. Goes to the third, couldn't get the third one. So Willow clears off the announcer's table. They fight over the suplex on the announcer's table. Mercedes actually hits the third amigo suplex. Table did not break. I am the table! And then they get back in. Willow got in at 9.9995. Mercedes elbows Willow into the statement maker. Willow powers out quickly. And then they kind of go back and forth with their finishers. Each one getting blocked. Reversal after reversal after reversal after reversal. Even those, and from some Fruit Loops as well. But eventually, Willow hits the Babe with a powerbomb. 1, 2, 3, we have a new AEW TBS champion. For the second time, Willow Nightingale gets the pin in under 15.5 minutes. Good match, 3.25 out of 5 stars. So, Mercedes went from 12, now she's down to 9. Because she lost the Ring of Honor TV, Women's TV title, that was 11. She lost the Red Pro titles to Alex Windsor on Collision about a week or two ago. So that counts as 2. So from 12, 11. No, I think, yeah, I was right. She has 9 belts now. Because you count the Red Pro belt as 2. That's 11. Yeah, I was right the first time. So she lost 3 belts in the span of almost a little over a month. Wow. And she is gonna, I can't wait to what she says and does on Collision or next week on the program. She is going into, pretty much mega crash mode. And the only main belt she has left is the CMLL women's title, because all the other belts are trinkets. And she still has the Owen Hart belt, which is really not a belt. But a lot of people are saying that, kind of making predictions that Mercedes is going to be a 2-time Owen Hart champ, and then go on to win the AEW Women's Championship at All In London, which is like later this year. So she's gonna lose all her belts, and she's gonna get all, nervous and bitchy and crying and whatever, and then she's gonna kind of make up for it by winning the AEW Women's Championship. From who? Maybe Chris Cakelander or whoever has it by then. But that's that. So, good match, 3.25 out of 5 stars for that. And then afterwards, the confetti goes off. Members of the conglomeration come out. And then Chris Cakelander shows up. I'm like, uh-oh. They kind of had a love-hate relationship over in 2025. But then they hug it out. You love to see it. Give the people what they want, as Tony Baloney says, and Excalibur said as well. They hug it out, and then that pretty much ends the show. So it was a pretty good show. I gave it 7. 7 out of 10 stars. So it was pretty good. Not great, but good enough. So we'll see what happens on Collision Saturday night. If you're going to watch it, great. I'm going to probably watch it on the replay after the Niner game. Or watch it sometime on Sunday. Because I got to watch Wrestle Kingdom. So I'll try to watch it sometime Sunday afternoon. So I'll do Collision probably either Saturday afternoon or Sunday afternoon or late Sunday night. And then I'll talk about Wrestle Kingdom probably somewhere in there, or maybe next Monday. Or on Monday, not next Monday. This coming Monday. Before Raw. So it's going to be a long weekend, ladies and gentlemen. We've got SmackDown tomorrow for 3 hours. We'll talk about that Saturday on my Killer Demons channel. And then we'll do Wrestle Kingdom predictions on episode 100, the big 100th show on the Shadow Slayer channel. We'll do that. Then get you ready for Collision, the Niners game, and Wrestle Kingdom. And then after Wrestle Kingdom, we'll have probably have a little early breakfast, then get some sleepy time, then get up and watch some football all freaking Sunday, and then do whatever we got to do on Sunday as we end the unofficial first weekend of the new year, and then we start the first week of 2026 officially, properly, on Monday. Kids go back to school. All you fuckers go back to work. Well, most of you probably go back to work tomorrow. You know, after... Well, most of you people worked on New Year's Eve. If you work today on New Year's Day, bless you, but... should have had a day off. Just saying. Unless you work in retail and you don't have any days off, basically. You work pretty much 365 days a year, unless you have a couple of days off if you work in retail. At least you get maybe 2-3 days off, depending if you work full-time or part-time. I hated working in retail full-time. I hated it. I would work... The most I worked was 70, almost 80 hours in a 2-week span. It killed me. But I got good pay. I got good pay at the time, but you know, it is what it is. But some of you people that are working in retail now, you're getting a raise. You know, the minimum wage went up to $17 now. Way more, not even close to what I'm making now. I make a little bit more than that. Like I make like $25 a week. Not $25. What am I saying? $25 an hour. 25, 26 usually. So I'm making more than you fuckers do. Most of you, not all of you, but whatever. But yeah, so all you people that are on minimum wage, you get a nice little raise to, I think it went from $15.30 up to 17, so you got a nice $1.70 raise. Not bad. So if you're working full time, you get a good, nice, fat paycheck. You're working 40 hours. Times that by 17, minus taxes, you're getting about, I would say around between $500 and maybe $700-800 a week. That's not bad. Not bad at all. But it is what it is. But, hey. Not like the days when minimum wage was like $10. Now it's 17. I may go up next in 2027. It might go up to 1750. It might go up to 18. Who knows? But you know that's the way it is. But you know, you want a job now, you can get it. Get a minimum wage job, and you can still pay your bills. Not can't pay your rent if you're living in New York City because you gotta work a lot to pay your rent. I mean, if you got a $2,000 rent, your rent is like $2,000 a month, and you're working a 40-hour week. I ain't gonna pay even close to your rent. And then you gotta add your cable and internet, and then utilities are all included and everything with your rent and everything, but I don't have to worry about that, so. Because I pay my half of the bills and Rosa pays the other half, so we're good. We're good. We're pretty good, but bills go up like every fucking year. What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? The internet goes up like $5, almost $10. Cable goes up depending on if you have basic cable like Optimum here in the New York City area. It'll go up. It goes up. Even the phone Optimum Mobile goes up too. Your phone bill will go up. If you have AT&T or T-Mobile, whatever you have for your phone bill, that goes up. Unless you have you're on a 2-year plan contract or whatever it might be. But, I mean, it is what it is. And then your cable bill goes up. Like I said, if you have Optimum, you have Verizon or Spectrum here in the New York City area, you have the rich man's dish like I do. I got $10 off my fucking shit, so I don't have to pay a lot. I'm basically paying $62 and change for my package, but, with fees and the equipment, basically I'm paying under $100 a month. I was paying almost $82 a month for my muffler. Now I'm paying a little bit extra because prices went up. You know. Not this bill. The last bill I had to pay $109 because I had a change over. So, and I added Netflix and I added a couple things. So my bill went up a little bit, but because I did it during the middle of the month, which I should have done at the beginning of the month. Excuse me. And then so I had to pay basically a little like $15 fee extra for my bill. So my bill was $94, but since I added stuff, I had to pay $15. I went up to $109, which was crazy. And add that to my cable bill, I had to pay almost $200 in December. So thankfully I paid that off. I just had enough money to pay that off, and now I'm basically paying $155 a month for cable and internet, which is not bad. But eventually it's gonna go up. I know that, so can't do anything about it. Usually goes up about $5 every. Well, depend. Some companies they go up $5 in November. Some go up in February. I think my internet's going up in February. I think from what I read, my February bill might go up a little bit. Even if I pay online, so I get $10 off on that. So I'm basically paying $60 right now. I would be paying like $80 right now, but I'm paying $60. So I think my bill might go back up to what it originally was, which was like $75 a month with fiber. What are you gonna do? And I have credit. I have promotions, so I get the $10 off. I get the internet credit, which is like $5. I think not 5. I think it's like 14 or $10 or 4. I forget how much it is. 14, 15. That's gonna expire on the 21st of next month. So my bills are gonna go up. I know that, but I have enough money. I make good money, and I have everything. I have enough saved for pretty much the next few months and everything. Pretty much, I'm good through the summertime. I checked everything, so I'm pretty much good till maybe August or September. So, and then when my work schedule changes in the summer, might be a little bit tough to pay some bills, not all of them, but but I should be good throughout this year and going into next year. I don't think I'll have any problems, but we'll see. We shall see. But I'll let you guys know if anything does happen where I have to take a little bit of time off. But maybe, like I said, maybe in early late July, early August, and we'll see what happens with that. There's a lot of things are happening during the summer. They talk about, Trump's talking about the tariff bill. People are going to get $2,000. Whether that happens or not, we'll see at least by June. So we've got about 5 or 6 months to see if that even goes through Congress. I know it probably won't, because how those idiot Democrats don't want it to go through. And then some Republicans are saying, I think it's a bad idea. I think it's a good idea. Get back to America, goddammit. Because Trump's doing everything he can to make everything affordable. And really, he should get back to the American people. Because he's starting his second year of his second trip in the White House. So he's got 2 more years. So we'll see what happens this year with President Trump. And they talk about J.D. Vance running in 2028. 2028 is going to be wild. That presidential race is going to be wild. Because they're talking about maybe that bitch Kamala Harris joining in. Newsom. It's going to be wild. But we'll see what happens with that. Even Mark Cuban of the Dallas Mavericks, he owns the Mavericks. He told Trump, he gave him I forgot how much money he was going to give him. I think like $1 million, not even $1 million. I think it was like $30 million to get a third term. Oh yeah, sign me up. I take $30 million to be president again for another 4 years, make it 12 years. Hell, why not? Why not? More Trump for the buck. Let's do it. Right, Paul Stanley? Let's do it. I know people are like, no, I don't want no more Trump. Well, you want somebody better, like a Democrat, to run this country into the ground like Joe Biden did? Thank God that Kamala Harris lost, because she would really fuck this country up. And you know that's a fact. Oh, you're just saying that because she's a woman. Not really. I just feel that I don't think we're gonna ever get a woman president. I mean, if we do, great, but as long as it's not Hillary Clinton and Kamala Harris, that's the one thing. But or AOC, you know, nobody wants that. Nobody that crazy bitch. But you know, but I don't know. But I think, you know, when we get to 2028, it's gonna be wild and crazy. I think this coming November we vote for the governor this year. So Kathy Hochul will probably go bye-bye, hopefully. Oh yeah, you gave us $200. Great, get out of here now. It is what it is. Mamdani got inaugurated today. See what he does in the first month of his being the mayor of New York City. He wants to make New York City affordable. We'll see. He wants to have the buses for free. Oh, that ain't gonna work. That is definitely not gonna work. You know, people are like, oh, they're gonna get on the bus for free, yay! Yeah, right. Nobody's gonna get on for free. Nobody should get on for free. But you got all these people that jump the turnstile and they're making new, innovations and making these doors. They have these doors now. You put your Omni card or your debit or credit card. You tap and you go through and then you get stuck. Supposedly you have to get through in 5 to 12 seconds. How are you gonna do that if you have like a big freaking cart with you? You're gonna have to hold the cart with one hand, tap, go through real quick. And I heard some bad stories with that. People getting stuck, kids getting slammed in the face with the fucking door. And they raised the fare to $150 on Sunday. Go figure that one out. You raised the fare, and you're still having problems with people jumping the turnstiles and getting on the buses and trains and public transportation for free. And Mamdani wants to have everything, wants to eliminate that. Wants to have people get on the bus for free. How is that going to work? And then you say that, you're going to have the MTA in bigger debt than they're already in. And raising the fare, I think, is a stupid idea. And they're probably going to get another fare hike, maybe in 2027, maybe 28. So then it's $3 now for, you regular people in New York, but if, I got the reduced fare, because I'm, my little disabled, I get it for $1.50. So me and Rose get on the bus and the trains for $1.50. $1.50, Bishop! So, but the main fare is $3, and then next thing you know, it could be $3.25, $3.50 in the next 2, 3, 4 years. Crazy. Like, people won't be able to afford getting on the fucking train. Back and forth. It's $6 now. Back and forth. Crazy. I mean, people can't even get on the bus in Ohio. Oops. How dumb, really, seriously, how fucking stupid are you to do that? I'm not gonna get into it. That guy's an idiot anyway. So, just believes anything he hears on the internet, he believes. It's crazy. It's just stupid. It's just a waste of time with that guy. I think people just need to move on from that guy. Just let him mire in his own misery. 35-year-old kid. You gotta learn today! Pretty much. But, I just think, people should just let him mire in his own misery and just go about their lives. You know. But that's that. Alright, guys, I am out of here. I gotta go to bed. I gotta take a quick, I'm gonna go to bed. I gotta get up early in the, I shouldn't be even doing this video now. It's 3:30 in the morning right now. But, doing it anyway. So I'm gonna get it out of the way because I got a long day tomorrow. I gotta go to the doctor. I gotta get a blood test tomorrow. I gotta go to the bank to pay some bills. And then, pretty much the rest of the day, I'm gonna chill. I'm gonna meet up with the missus later. Actually, the missus is coming with me, so we got a lot to do tomorrow. We're gonna go to the bank. We're gonna go to a nice little lunch, and then we'll see what happens for dinner. We might go out Friday night in the cold, but we'll see. We'll see. Depends really how she feels in the morning. She might just stay home. I might go out and just do my errands and then come home and then just chill. But we'll see what happens with that. Alright, guys, thanks for watching. Until next time, check out my other 2 videos. Links are down below in the description box and all that other good stuff. So I'll be back tomorrow, probably late tomorrow night, with TNA and Ring of Honor. And then we'll talk about SmackDown, like I said, Saturday afternoon. And then we'll also talk about New Japan Pro Wrestling, Wrestle Kingdom predictions, and then watch the Niners. Definitely going to be doing a post-game show for that. So pretty much 2 videos, maybe 2.5 videos, because that videos are short, a 3-minute short for the Niners if they win or lose. Hopefully they win the number 1 seed, and then we don't have to talk about them next weekend for the wild card round. But if they do lose, if the Rams lose, they get the 5 seed. They'll probably face Tampa Bay or Carolina. But if the Rams win, they get the 6 seed. They could get the Bears or cold as fuck Philly next weekend, which is not going to be fun. And even though it's supposed to rain here next week, I looked at the long-range forecast for next week. Going to be some rain here and warm temperatures, which is nice. So Lincoln Financial Field may be wet and yucky, but that's what you love about football. But it's going to be warm, should be warm in Philly next week for the Eagles, whether they play at home against whoever they play. They could play the Rams, they could play the Seahawks, or they could face the Niners. So we'll see what happens with that on Saturday afternoon, Saturday night, and especially on Sunday. So if the Niners lose, they gotta hope that the Rams lose. So they're playing on the road if they lose anyway. But it depends on where they play. So if you're a Niner fan, you lose, you hope that the Rams lose, so you get the number 5 seed, and you go to a warm state like Carolina, or you go down to Tampa, and you have a pretty good shot to win that game. But then after that, you're gonna go on the road, probably to Seattle, or you might go to Philly, and who knows what's gonna happen in mid-January down in Philly. But if you go to Seattle, you don't really have to worry so much, because even though it's cold up there in Seattle, I would assume they're going to close that dome for that game. That's for the, most likely the division round, or they go to Seattle to go to the Super Bowl, and I think they have a good shot to go to the Super Bowl. I think they're the most dangerous team in the playoffs right now. Maybe the Bears as well, so... And maybe the Rams, but Rams are like on a decline right now. So they lost to Atlanta, and they're going into they play Arizona on Sunday. It's Arizona, but Arizona's not a pushover. So if I'm the Rams, you're like, oh, this is gonna be a gimme game. You said that about Atlanta. What happened? You got destroyed. So we had that. So it's gonna be a great weekend this weekend for football. Baseball's around the corner, about another month away. Pretty much about about 6 weeks away to spring training for pitchers and catchers. So, and then we're pretty much 2 months away from the start of the 2026 season. Who knows what the Mets are going to be doing right now? They lost a chance to get another, another Japanese guy. I think his name is Imai. He went to the Astros. So, Framber Valdez probably be coming to the Mets. So, we have to keep abreast. Did I say breast? Yes. So we have to keep watch for on the Framber Valdez front. He could be coming to the Mets. They're interested. They're talking. They're checking in. They're saying checking in on Kyle Tucker. Bellinger is still available, which is surprising. It's January. He hasn't signed yet. A couple other guys I'm thinking of getting, like Roberts from Chicago, the White Sox. I think he'll probably be a Met. I have a feeling I don't want him, but let's see what happens with that. Uncle Davey, even though he made some stupid fucking deals, got rid of Alonso. He's in Baltimore. Nimmo's in Texas hanging out with DeGrom. McNeil's in Oakland, hanging out with Severino, his good buddy Severino. And then Edwin Diaz is with the two-time world champion Dodgers. So, and it seems like Imai, who now is in Houston, he really wants to be the Dodgers. Surprisingly, he didn't come to the Mets. I don't know why the Mets kind of gave up. And the Yankees ain't doing anything good either. Okay, and people want Cashman's head on a silver platter, and I don't blame you, Yankee fans, because he's the worst GM in pretty much Yankee history. And, George Steinbrenner is rolling in his grave over and over and over again. And Hal Steinbrenner is just like, he's like, hey, I'm the puppeteer. He's just basically saying yes, no, this and that. And Cashman and Aaron Baboon are just, basically kissing up to Hal Steinbrenner. And the fans want to get rid of both of them. Hal's like, nope. They're going to suck my old cock, But, Yankees are still a formidable team. But their bullpen go bye-bye. No Devin Williams. He go to the Mets. Same thing with Luke Weaver. Who do you got in that bullpen as a closer? I don't even know. And then their pitching is pretty much suspect. You got Max Fried and Carlos Rodon because I think Garrett Cole is not going to be... I don't know if he's going to be ready for spring training. So, Yankee fans, you might be in trouble early on this season. You still got Judge. I think you have maybe a year or two more of Stanton, even though he's on the decline. And who knows what's going to happen with the rest of the offense. Still got a great lineup, even with Judgy, Wudgy, and Stanton, but... you lose Bellinger, that's another big bat. They go bye-bye. He can come to the Mets. Or he stays in the Bronx. So, there is a chance that Cashman, Cashman does something. By the end of this month or early before spring training starts, or before the season maybe. Who knows? But, I don't know. New York baseball right now is not looking so good. But, people are saying, look out for the Mets, they're going to make a big splash soon. Haven't done nothing yet. It's only January 2nd right now, so I think Uncle Stevie has a plan. He has something up his sleeve. Maybe David Stearns has something up his sleeve. I don't know. But we'll see what happens with that. Giants and Jets are finishing up the season, thank God. Especially if you're a New York Giant fan. You're like, thank God, let's go to Cancun. Let's get out of here. They'll be on a beach in Cancun Sunday night and pretty much Monday. So we won't be hearing from them until August when a preseason starts for the 2026-27 season. And who knows if the Giants get the number 1 pick or not. Jets will probably get a top 5, top 8 pick. See who they get. Not just going to probably help them. Giants are getting a new head coach. I don't know who. I just think the Jets and Giants are in rebuilding years now, right now, and it's not going to be good for a while. That's good for me, but we'll see what happens with that. I hope the Niners win, because if they win, I don't know if he's gonna. I don't think he's gonna win the Coach of the Year, but Kyle Shanahan, I think you gotta put his name at the top of that list. Especially if the Niners get to the Super Bowl, you definitely gotta give him the Coach of the Year. Depending on who gets there, if the Patriots get there, you can give Mike Vrabel the Coach of the Year, or Sean Payton with the Broncos. So, it's going to be very exciting playoffs, and I would be shocked if the Broncos or the Patriots both get knocked out. I mean, we'll see what happens with that. I think Denver is going to get the 1 seed. So all roads will go through Denver most likely. It might go through Foxborough, but we'll see. We'll see what happens by the end of Sunday night. And then, who wins the AFC North? Is it going to be Otaku's Ravens, or is it going to be, the Steelers and Patriots? And it's just going to double check. But either way, whoever comes out of the AFC North are going to probably get destroyed in the first round, or maybe in the division round. I think it's going to be the Broncos and the Patriots in the AFC title game. That's how I feel. And then the NFC, I'm hoping it's Seattle and the Niners, or Niners and maybe the Rams. I think the Rams get beat by Philly, which I hope happens. I really hope the Rams stay at the number 6 seed, and the Niners get that 5 seed, so they have a little bit of an easier trek. So to go to Tampa, if Tampa Bay wins the division, I think they could beat Baker Mayfield and Tampa Bay in Tampa Bay. I think it could be Carolina in Carolina, because Carolina sucks with their quarterback. I don't know if Brissett's going to come back, but we'll see. I think they could beat Carolina. And really, the only other teams that they have to get past is the Seahawks, maybe the Bears again. So they could face the Bears again, probably in Chicago, cold Chicago, mind you, in January, which is not fun. So, Niners have to win on Saturdays. I don't think they want to, if they get past the wild card round, I don't think you want to play in the snow, whether it be in Chicago, whether it be in Philly. I rather, if I'm a Niner fan, I rather hope to get to the division round and you're playing in Seattle or in SoFi against the Rams. I don't think you want to face the Packers if it got to that point where the Packers go to the title game, they face the Niners. If that was possible, I think it's possible, but yeah, I don't think anybody wants to face the Packers in Green Bay in minus 15-degree weather in January. I don't think so. And the Niners did that during their Super Bowl run 2 years ago. And it was snowy, it was cold as balls. And Bobby Gould kicked the Niners to the championship game. That's what you do. That's what you do. But now we got Eddie Dinero Pinero, so if we need him in a cold weather game and it's snowing and shit, I hope he has a good leg and he doesn't slip in the snow. He kicks the Niners to a game-winning field goal and to the division round or possibly to the Super Bowl. We'll see. But I think the script is written for the Niners to go to the Super Bowl in Santa Clara. They get the home game and they win the Super Bowl. But, sometimes the script, doesn't go according to plan. So, but we'll see what happens with that. There was a thing on Twitter with, the next 50 Super Bowls up to 2076, I think. The Niners do win a Super Bowl, but not for a while. It sucks. I think they said it was 2060 they win. I mean, come on, 2060? That's 34 years away. I'll be 80-something years old watching the Super Bowl with my grandkid. I'm come on now. Alright, hey Sonny, we're gonna watch the Super Bowl. We're gonna find out the Niners win. You know, your uncle's gonna be up there in heaven. You know, your grandma and everybody gonna watch the Niners. I'm like, should have happened 60 years ago. But, you know, sports is a funny thing, you know. You got teams that you never thought would win a Super Bowl. Or win any title. So we'll see what happens with all that. Alright guys, I'm out of here. Thanks for watching. I'm going to bed. I have to get up in a couple hours to go to the doctor and then the bank and then get my other errands to do. So that's it. Thanks for watching. Until next time. Peace.